Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22. We're back in Malia, year 10, end of the season. Is this the end of the run? Well, let's find out. So we are in fourth place this year. We were unable to gain any ground on Atletico Madrid or Barcelona for second and third. According to this, we've only qualified for the Europa League. According to our club vision screen, they said we'd already qualified for the Champions League. I don't know what's going on. Whether we need to win this to make the Champions League or not, I really hope not. But you never know. We just kind of we stalled and sputtered out in our two home games of all things against Gijon and Villarreal. Again, good sides, but not amazing sides. Gijon was heavily rotated, admittedly, because again I just wanted to rest, and we still had another Saturday, Wednesday coming up, and unproductive. And then against Gijon, Joe Willock went crazy and equaled each of our goals with absolute bangers. So it's very frustrating being on 55 goal differential and being behind Atletico and 6 points behind Barcelona and 1 point goal difference. Like, clearly we should be a cut above Atletico, but our results have been unlucky and their results have been apparently lucky. Just too many draws, equal number of losses. Nah, what can you do? But we got the big one. Could end the save. Malia, Paris Saint-Germain. It looks like this is the squad they apparently ran out last time. Multiple of those players are not registered, so whether that's good or bad for us, who knows? That's the thing with a team like Paris Saint-Germain. A huge number of players are unregistered, despite the fact that they're going to be earning big bucks. So, additionally, they have two big injuries. Jamal Musiala and Karim Adeyemi are both out for this game, and so they are going to be missing two of their key attacking players. Again, all that said, they still have as many attacking players as we do, maybe more. So we're going to need the boys to play well to get us this result. Okay, so it looks like they are going to play Donnarumma, Gekter, Strijic, Tapsoba, Marquinhos, Ilic, Milinkovic-Savic, Havertz, Gottsman, Luka, and Mukoko. Obviously still going to be a dangerous side. We are going to run out this lineup. Basically, the only question mark is whether we went Kone Santos or whether we went Kone Santos Hassan. I think that was the only real question on terms of rotation. In the middle, it's Issa, Jim, and Gaabua pretty easily. Sammy and Sessegnon on the wings, even though our assistant manager keeps thinking that Malambo here is a better left back than Sammy. And, like, besides rating, like, that's not true at all. How about we play the guy who's been at the club for the last 5 years and understands the people he's playing with and has a much better rating than the Loney, who, has a little better crossing and dribbling? No, a little better dribbling, that's it. Anyways, it doesn't make much sense. I've been fighting with him. And then in the middle, Kasama and Hamidi playing our pacey guys over Matsima, who's a little less pacey, a little more technical, but wouldn't be surprised to see him come in, and Babangida in goal. So that's where we're at. Neutral site, so we're still going to play positive. Hopefully PSG won't just try and press us to death. We saw how dangerous Juventus was when they got aggressively pressing. Let's see if we can get them all. Yep, there now. All motivated. Yep. Looking forward, Charles Abbey has already said he's moving on from the team, which is fine. He's the one player who isn't signed for next year, and we did not expect to retain him. He's 31, largely had lost productiveness and had just kind of lost his spot in the rotation even when he was healthy. Rain, will that help us? Well, you'd say it's generally the equalizer, or an equalizer for a lesser power team. Try and play a long ball down the side, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll have the throw. Havertz leads the ball looking for Gottsman, intercepted by Sessegnon, and we're going to take it the other way. We do have a strong press on in the middle of the field, it looks like already. Kone plays it back to Jim. Has to come back to Hamidi's, doesn't really find a good option. Exchange there, up to Gayabua. Plays it out and up to Sessegnon. Pivots back to Jim. There we go. Bennett Issa with a step. Chip. 12th goal of the year for Bennett Issa. 3rd minute as Malia opened the floodgates. The rain, the torrential rain. Bring it down. Just beautiful stuff by Jim to see the long pass. Issa doing exactly what we want from the position and essentially being a pseudo second striker. That kind of shadow striker, except coming from even deeper. Perfect stuff, and then chipping Donnarumma. Kone on a run out here down the left side. Gets the end line cross. On Kone's feet. Can he? There's too many bodies in the way. Hamidi up to Santos. Jim turns, plays it back to Gayabua, to Hamidi and Jim. Santos to Kone there, plays it out to Sessegnon, runs onto it, has a step to Sergio Kone. Unfortunately, doesn't really get any power on his poke, and it ends up relatively easily in Donnarumma's hands. We're going to have the throw in here. Sessegnon up to Gayabua, to Santos. Jim plays it out to Sammy. Bit of an exchange here, as always. The awkwardness as defensive players slide back and offensive players come forward when they've been maybe slightly exchanged for the corner. Good job by Sessegnon to dispossess there. Loving what I'm seeing from the boys. PSG is winning the possession battle. About 55-45 from what they showed, but certainly we've been having the better of the highlights, so I will take that if they're just kind of kicking about in the backfield. It's a good run from Gottsman there. Better job by Sessegnon to dispossess. It was one of those dangerous ones that just kind of drifted in the middle and they came away with it, but their shot went wide. Alright, Kasama's going to wait on their man to come up, and unfortunately Hamidi ends up deciding he just needs to play it long. Don't like that, especially this early. Santos, maybe a bit of a dangerous slide from a guy who isn't an amazing defensive player. That's the sort of thing that obviously could turn the tide if someone gets sent off, or even just it's a foul inside the box. They attempt a very long-range chip the keeper. It comes off the woodwork, and luckily they hadn't been pressing the goal that heavily, and we managed to get there and clean it out to the sides. Possession's now down to 50-50. There we go. I like that distribution. Make sure you use the wing-backs, use the full-backs. Charge forward up into them to confuse them and use those sides instead of just being compelled to bomb it long. Hamidi, Sessegnon, there we are. Santos. Sessegnon, there go. Kone. Sergio Kone rounds the keeper. Please onside. I think he is, which means I'm going to be wrong. Sergio Kone, come on. Goal approved. Goal awarded. Love it. 35th of the year for Sergio Kone. The pride of Kenya, Sergio Kone. It's it's a bit remarkable, funny, that in terms of like value, the national teams in Africa are so much. Some of them are just like, at least like Kenya is just, well, it's Sergio Kone and then a bunch of guys. The Democratic Republic of the Congo isn't that bad with Theo Jim, but it kind of feels that way at times. You know, Egypt, South Africa are not like that. Those are pretty deep, have decent and deep domestic leagues. And so they also have a few top flight players elsewhere, but then they have some decent depth, and you have to pay for their players. We just chip it long, but no one gets there on that left wing. They bomb back. Nothing comes of it on the wing. Does go into the center, but defense does a good job getting back. Sturgit, Gechther, Havertz. Good pressure. Sergio makes a good run. And he panics and plays it too high. I'll take it. Yellow card from Sammy. Set piece for them from a potentially dangerous position, but it's defended, and the second action is defended. Is can we defend the third action? Luka, we do get defenders out there in time, and he doesn't get the shot on frame that he wanted. All right. We don't really challenge that one at all. Again, we don't really have anyone who's a true aerial duelist. Issa looking for the run. Oh, damn you, Woodwork. Sergio Kone almost with a second. Then pass from Bennett Issa. Almost on a second of the night. Would have been third for the team, and obviously would have been very nice to have an extra goal insurance. Moukoko, good run in, but Babangida gets his hand on it, knocks it over the top. Moukoko is going to be an outswinger. Luka heads it, but Babangida makes the save. Ilic intercepted by Sessegnon, heads it up to Santos. Santos now on a yellow card as well. Bit of a pass about on the right side, working back at Kasama, Gayabua. Luka with a press on them the whole while, but one man on three, they need to screw it up to really get broken, though we've seen it get screwed up many a time, both by us and other teams. But there we go, ball coming forward. Santos, can he square it? No. Goes for the shot. It like catches the woodwork, runs the white line. Goal line technology. I wish they had a better view for this. Just something more compelling than just, we took away the goal. Here's how it looked the exact same way. Santos is gassing out. He's on a yellow card. We're in 70, so he's going to be our first sub. We'll move Kone back to the right wing, and we'll bring Hassan on the left wing. We will spread our three substitutes out here over the last couple minutes. Ball's played long. Looks like Hassan will get there pretty easily without much pressure at that. Goes down the wing to Sammy. To Issa, Hassan. Good. Love the passing triangles. Sammy up to Hassan. Back to Sammy. Alright, yeah, let's reverse field on this. Okay, or not. There we are. Knew there was going to be some space there. Yep, up to Jim. I would have liked seen Sessegnon break forward a little bit more. There felt like there was an opening there. Ball's tucked to Serge Kone. Aristide Kone on the break-in. Plays it to Serge Kone. Oh. Shot goes right into Donnarumma. All right. No, I'm gonna let it ride. We're gonna hold these even longer again. Ilic and Moukoko now on yellow cards for PSG. They're now in a 4-3-3 that takes the form of two strikers and a central attacking midfielder, really pressing up top. All right, 84th minute. Let us make a change. We will take Jim off, and we'll put Zaidou Youssef on instead of Mortalisao. Aristide Kone wins a header, but it goes straight to a defender. Well, one of their defenders, excuse me. Moukoko with a run. Good job of the defenders cutting it off. Everyone gets back. Havertz only a tapper at the goal. Babangida will reinitiate. There's a serious press on by them. 88th. Okay, whose time is it? Let's get Boyamo on for Sammy. Again, just yellow card, dangerous prevention. Don't need to be suddenly playing 10 on 11 even for just 3 minutes. After this run of action, I will be moving to our hold mentality. Just ridiculous from Havertz there. Two minutes left, roughly. Sessegnon running with Moukoko down the left wing. Does eventually get in the way. Unfortunately, it does go off him for a corner kick. It will be an outswinger based on what we've seen. So it is. Gaibue pretty easily handles it. And time's running out. Call it. Call it. Call it. Call it. Call this save. I love you all. Or just you, Dave. But call it. I want to be done. Havertz reverses field. Diallo. Come on, dispossess him. The ball went backwards. Stop the clock. The ball went backwards. Come on. Kasama plays it long. Full. There it is. Oh. Look at this piddly pedestrian setup for winning the Champions League. Can you? One of the things in 2023 that they were advertising is, a better setup for celebrations for, UEFA presentation because they got the UEFA license. And I have to say, it would have to be an upgrade over this. Like, we won the Champions League, biggest club soccer tournament annually. We just put up a little background and it says Champions League. Show us that. There it is. Number 6, Gaibue, I think. Doing the cartwheel of victory. Oh boy. Oh, that was, in the end, we won the possession battle 55% to 45%. Equal on fouls. They had one more corner from us, but nobody converted any corners. We did win the XG battle. Kone's goal being one he should score regularly and did, thankfully. They did win the shots target, but we had so many more on target. They just struggled to get it on frame. And yeah, enjoy it, boys. We're kings of the world. I'm at a loss for words. Beautiful stuff. $24 million. Medals for all of these fine gentlemen. Frederick Ananou from Togo. Charles Abbey, France, by way of Togo. Zaidou Youssef, Frenchman of Comoros Islands descent. Chris Lane Matsima, a Frenchman of Congolese descent. Steven Sessegnon from the Côte d'Ivoire, along with Aristide Kone from the Ivory Coast. Emmanuel Gaibue of Italian descent, from Ghana, Italian of Ghanaian descent. Ugochukwu Babangida, Nigerian. Chad Daniels and Bennett Issa, and technically Eric Mobby from South Africa will pick up a medal. Enzo Boyamo, a Frenchman of Cameroonian descent. Ahmed Sami from Egypt. Mortala Sow, a Frenchman of Senegalese descent. Ordi Makiadi and Theo Jim, both representing the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Theo Jim could also represent the Central African Republic. Nordine Hamidi, Belgian of Algerian descent. Jeffrey Santos from the Cape Verde Islands. Sergio Kone from Kenya. Asan Kasama of Spanish descent, a Spanish national from the Gambia. Hassam Hassan, Frenchman of Egyptian and Tunisian descent. And on loan, Armel Malambo, German of Democratic Congolese descent. And Alejandro Medina, our 16-year-old off the bench, just a Spaniard of Argentinian descent, but he was born in Melilla. He's a hometown kid. He sat on the bench, very good for us throughout the Champions League. Worshipped. Love to hear that. Great work from Sessegnon. They want a new deal from him because West Ham is interested. We get another 17 million TV revenue, another 8 million from the coefficient ranking pool. So much money. We gave about $10 million for that. We're not gonna have him sack the agent. So yeah, that's where we're at. 10 years from the fourth tier of Spanish soccer. Only signing players of African nationality descent. And in 10 years, we won the Champions League. That's definitely pretty good. I'd like to thank anyone who came along the way, or anyone who, for some reason, comes along these videos and watches them in the future. Thank you so much. I will certainly be taking some time away from Football Manager after this, as I usually do. I don't know whether I'll be getting Football Manager 24. It's still 8 months away or so. So who knows if it'll be a big jump in the release cycle or not. I think my next save might be a Moneyball type save, a no attribute type save, a save where all these beautiful numbers go away, and whether they're completely gone or they're replaced by, say, colors, like Bennett Isa's corners would be reduced down to white, and as we know, white could be anything from 6 to 10. His jumping reach would be gray, which we know is anything 1 to 5. His finishing would be yellow, which is anything between 11 and 15, and his free kick taking is 16 to 20. So you'd have ranges. I don't know how scouting works with the inconsistency. I mean, those scouting ranges always have colors anyways when you don't know about a player. Tito Semedo here, just for example, it does color that is crossing, it thinks is in the 5 to 7 range of gray, but is it just because it takes the low end, or I don't really know. 5 to 8 in the low end, so it thinks it's a 5, or is it just, again, grabbing the low end? I don't know, but that's where that's the thing that interests me most. Scouting, having the attributes is a little OP, and I think scouting is a little too easy in the game versus reality. Like the physical attributes should fill in pretty quickly from scouting, but then the technicals at a much more medium pace, and the mentals much slower. How many games you have to watch before you finally get an idea that someone has good teamwork, good positioning. Those are the true intangibles. Like, you can see if someone runs fast. And with enough, regular game actions, you can tell if they can do those things. Though, some players never take corners, so how are you telling until you get them into practice if they're good at corners? So perhaps those things should always be very unknown and high risk. But yeah, so that's enough of a riff on that subject. Before I don't want to run out of videotape, as it were, again twice in this year. So once again, thanks to anyone who's watched. Don't hesitate to let me know what you thought about this game in particular, or the whole run, anything that stands out. And yeah, may or may not be back in a couple months with a new run. We'll see how it goes. But I would let's say for the last time, thanks again. I hope you have a very lovely day. Bye.